Hi, I'm a queer teacher and I 1000% do not support this bill. And yes, I do know what's in it. The bill in itself is just another way to stigmatize the LGBTQ plus community. Kids as young as 3 and 4 are actually aware of their gender identity, even if they don't have the language for it. Also very aware of who they like and who they don't like. Heterosexuality is pushed on our kids on a daily basis at a very young age. Media, through books. The first Disney movie that you saw. To say that pre-K through 3rd grade are not ready for such topics is actually internalized homophobia and transphobia. They're very much ready for these topics and are way more accepting than adults when it comes to discussing these topics. We can talk about gender assumptions, pronouns, all the things. And it is child development appropriate and age appropriate. It was literally created as just another means to other queer people. Basically say that us existing is not normal.
All right, guys, so there you have it. A queer / non-binary teacher basically coming out and telling us what we all knew, right? That, they think that it is perfectly fine and it's perfectly appropriate for kindergartners to have conversations with their teachers about gender identity and sexual orientation, right? I'm glad this teacher said it, okay? Because I'm going to save this video, okay, and use this video anytime somebody says that this is not happening in schools, that this is made up, that Republicans are trying to push solutions to problems that don't really exist. I'm just gonna say this video because there are a ton of teachers across the country that are just like this teacher right here, who clearly has an agenda, who clearly wants to push their own worldview on these children. Now let's break down the argument for why they think that this is age appropriate, okay, and developmentally appropriate to be talking to kids about gender identity and sexual orientation. Well, at first they say, well, kids are aware of their gender identity and who they like and who they don't like at a young age. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I actually agree with you on that. Kids are aware, for the most part, what their gender identity is. They, like, boys are aware that they're boys and girls are aware that they're girls, okay? But see, the problem is not that, right? Because that is normal. That is what's supposed to happen 99.999% of the time, okay? But the problem is that what you're trying to do is that you're trying to push kids away from what is normal. That's the problem, right? The problem is not that, oh, we're trying to stigmatize kids that may be transgender. No, because kids at that age, for the most part, boys know they're boys, girls know they're girls. But yeah, there are some kids that may be a little confused. However, again, 99% of the time, they grow out of that, okay? They grow to understand that, okay, like, hey, I have an XY chromosome, therefore I'm a boy, or hey, I have XX chromosomes, therefore I'm a girl, okay? That happens 99% of the time. But see, what these people want is that they want to basically make it so kids question these things at a young age when they're most impressionable, right? So some young boy who knows that he's a boy can ask these questions and have these conversations with their teachers, and their teachers can steer them into saying, well, maybe you're not a boy, right? Maybe you're a girl, okay? Maybe you should explore, right? And that's really the disturbing part about all this, okay? Because what they're trying to do is that they're trying to make the normal not normal. That's what they're trying to make. They're trying to normalize something that is not normal for a reason. There's a reason that what you're pushing is not normal, okay? And you have to accept that as reality, because what you're pushing is not based in biology, right? It's not based in basic biology, okay? That's the problem. And then this individual says, well, heterosexuality is pushed on young kids at a young age. And I'm like, well, first of all, talking about the bill, the Don't Say Gay bill, or the Parental Rights and Education bill, right? The real name of it. They don't allow you talking about that stuff even, right? You're not supposed to be talking about sexual orientation, gender identity with kids at all, right? Including heterosexuality, right? Including being straight, okay? Which is funny because they never call it a Don't Say Straight bill, which is what they could call it if you can call it Don't Say Gay, right? Because again, it just bans those conversations in general. But in regards to society and, heterosexuality being normal, yeah, kids are going to be exposed to that because that is normal, right? And 99% of the time, when kids grow up, as they grow older, that's what they're going to adhere to for the most part. Now, who knows? I don't know. As time moves on, each generation gets more LGBTQ friendly. So I don't know. Maybe these kids are seeing this movement here that they're being exposed to, because obviously it is affecting these children. That's why you're seeing these numbers. But generally speaking, kids are going to adhere to what, again, society and their biology steers them towards, okay? But most of what society is geared towards, it is a function of biology. And again, in my opinion, I just don't like this movement to try to normalize things that we all know are just not necessarily normal. They're not normal for a reason, and you're supposed to keep it that way. I have no problems with any child who grows up, even when they become a teenager, they become 18, whatever, and they're like, hey, this is my lifestyle, this is what I want to do. Fine, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. But what does bother me is when you have teachers like this in the classroom that are openly trying to have conversations with these kids to steer them away from what is normal, right? That's what this is about. And it's at the point now where it's not just these woke teachers that have infiltrated these classrooms to try to push this on children. It's also something that is being incorporated directly into the curriculum, right? And this is allegedly what is happening in New Jersey, as first graders in that state are to learn about gender identity in new sex ed lessons. So let's actually read about this story, because again, the left told us that this did not exist, that this is not happening anywhere in this country. The same thing they said about critical race theory, even though there's multiple evidence of teachers pushing racial propaganda on kids in class, okay, and using elements of critical race theory in class. They said, no, it don't exist. It is made up by the right. They said the same thing about this subject right here. And lo and behold, again, we have plenty of evidence of teachers that are openly trying to push this stuff, along with now having evidence of the stuff being applied literally at the curriculum level in the classroom in New Jersey, right? So let's actually read about this, because again, the left says this doesn't exist. Planned sex education lessons for first graders in New Jersey will include discussions of gender identity, outraging some parents and Republican politicians, including potential presidential candidate and former Governor Christie. A 30-minute lesson called Pink, Blue, and Purple aims to teach the 6-year-olds to define gender identity, and gender role stereotypes, Fox News reported Friday. It also includes instructions for teachers to tell students that their gender identity is up to them, according to materials reportedly distributed to parents at a February 22nd meeting of the Westfield Board of Education and posted online. So ding, 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 ding. It has instructions for teachers to tell students that their gender identity is up to them. What I just tell you guys, what they're trying to do is tell kids who know, for the most part, what they are, that, hey, it's up for debate, right? You might need to rethink that. And again, these kids are young and impressionable, and that's the effed up part about it. They're trying to push them away from what is normal to something that is not normal, right? Again, it's messed up. Quote, you might feel like you're a girl even if you have body parts that some people might tell you are boy parts, and you might not feel like you're a boy or a girl, but you're a little bit of both. No matter how you feel, you're perfectly normal. A lesson plan for second graders titled Understanding Our Bodies includes an illustrated discussion of human genitals, so kids as young as 7 can use medically accurate names for their private parts. Quote, there are some body parts that mostly girls have and some body parts that mostly just boys have, it says. Wow. A note to a teacher also says being a boy or a girl doesn't have to mean you have those parts, but for most people, this is how their bodies are. The materials emerged amid controversy over a law signed last month by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis that bans discussion of gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade, which critics deride as don't say gay. They're part of a broader K-12 health and sex education curriculum adopted by the New Jersey Board of Education in 2020 that goes into effect in September. Quote, I am honestly appalled at this curriculum. Maria DeMaio Esposito, a mother of 2 from Howell, told the Asbury Park Press. Quote, I'm debating whether to place my child in a private school if I can afford it. Is this curriculum really necessary? Children need to stay children. Their innocence is beautiful, and I do not want their little minds filled with this very adult topic. Parents are able to opt out of having their kids take part in the lessons, but Paula McCarthy, Mamana of Jackson, who said the curriculum makes me sick, said the move would be stigmatizing. Quote, my granddaughter is going to be entering 8th grade. If she's opt out of a class, she's going to be looked at by her peers in a different manner, McCarthy Mamawana told the AP. She may be bullied or harassed, and I don't agree with a child being targeted because of family moral issues. Yeah, I definitely could see some people targeting the family as homophobic, right, or transphobic because they're not letting their kids participate in this indoctrination session, right? That definitely could happen. In an appearance on Fox News, Christie, who ran for president in 2016 and is reportedly considering another White House bid, told Fox News, "I think this is just a further indication of the crazy liberal policies of my successor, Phil Murphy, who is in the progressive movement." Quote, "He's on the left of the progressive movement, and this kind of stuff should not be going on." He's added. State Representative Holly Skalewski, Republican, told Fox News that as a mom and legislator, I can appreciate the needs for students to receive age-appropriate instruction, but this is beyond the pale. We knew that when Governor Murphy used the cover of the pandemic to push these new standards through, that something was terribly wrong, and now we can clearly see why they needed to do this in secret," she said. The agenda has swung so far left in an attempt to sexualize our precious children that parents are fighting back. All right, so I think we've read enough of this to get the gist of kind of what's going on here, right? And you guys can see, like, this is a concrete example of schools pushing this in the classrooms, right? Officially, okay? So it's no longer conspiracy anymore, okay? We have evidence, we have proof, but the left will still deny it. They'll say bills like this are unnecessary, okay? When it's clearly necessary. This is clearly happening across the country, because this is a part of the Democratic agenda. And for the life of me, I really don't understand why in the world do the Democrats want to down this hill? Why they want to down a hill in which they're clearly on the side that most people do not agree with. Any sane, rational adult does not agree with this. But hey, you know, the Democrat Party is filled with people who are not sane, rational adults. So it really doesn't surprise me that they're supporting this type of stuff, because they've given in to the furthest left of their party, okay, and the extremists in their party, and this is the result of it, right? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.